back's gone. What's going to make this really convincing?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, no. I've pooed my pants.
Can you get a first aider? I pooed myself. Sorry, mate.
I had to swallow. It's like trying to swallow a rock.
You're allowed to chew it first. It's the perks of teeth.
I've had that many fillings from Skittles.
Fillings from Skittles?
Eating too many Skittles.
Really?
I used to eat loads when I was younger, especially like sixth form. And basically, I've got about 4 or 5 fillings.
I haven't got a single filling, you know. I had, it's not a filling, it's like my back tooth. What are they? Incisors?
Something like that.
Whatever they are. Molars, I think, are the back, aren't they?
I call them back teeth.
Yeah, we'll go with back teeth. Like, the shape of them, they're like quite deep.
Yeah.
Like a thing. So I had that filled up a bit so that it didn't need a filling, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't deep, but that's it. I've not had a filling, but my mum...
I was going to say, you wouldn't be allowed, your mum wouldn't allow that to happen. Bring
No,
shame
and
on the family.
Yeah, well, this is it, because like my mum worked in a dentist for her whole life, basically, up until recently. And my mum and dad got loads of fillings, like loads, but like me and my brother, nothing, not allowed. And that's like when we were kids, we were never allowed sweets, and we were allowed sweets, but like my mum wouldn't want us to have, you know, like sucky sweets, like hard boiled sweets.
That's one way of calling them.
Yeah. Like sweets that you suck, not
Dongs.
Yeah, not someone who's like, I will give you sweets.
Yeah.
Which we also weren't allowed.
What, to accept sweets off
men.
Off
men
men.
in Ven.
Yeah.
Thankfully. Because, like, my mum, if you have sweets, she wants you to eat them all in one go.
I'm that greedy that I do anyway.
So am I. Yeah. But, like, it's because if you have, like, say you have, like, a load of hard-boiled sweets, they take longer to eat and they're on your teeth for longer.
Right.
So she was super conscious of, like, sugar being on your teeth for a long time. That's why she would rather you have, like, some fruit pastels than Fox's fruits, because they're on your teeth all afternoon then.
Fruit pastels are better anyway.
Than Fox's fruits.
My opinion.
Fox's fruits are all right until, like, because they take ages to eat, they all end up... Why do they leak out the package and, like, stick together? Yeah, like, I don't get why. Like, they've not been in the microwave or anything, like, not direct sunlight, melted. They just melt and all stick together.
Did I tell you the reason? You know how my car door sticks on the passenger side?
Yeah.
Did I tell you how that came about?
No.
So what I discovered, I believe, you bought a pack of Frutellas.
Right.
And it just reminded me, because when it leaks, like, through the packaging, and I was like, why does this car door keep sticking? There's all this gooey
I told you, didn't I? I was like, it's sticky. I didn't know. I didn't know
like gooey stuff. So when I was giving my car a good clean out, in that side panel bit where you store stuff, there was like Frutellas that had just melted. And I'm assuming it's probably seeped through, because now that I've got rid of them, the car door's no longer got this gooey, sticky stuff. So Frutellas was, you basically glued my door together with Frutellas.
Sorry about that, mate. To be honest, it was definitely an accident, because I don't leave sweets.
Imagine if I'd have taken that to the garage. It's like, there's this goo coming out and my door's just sticking, and they'd have probably charged me about 100 quid to just basically clean out
200
some
quid.
Sweets, some Frutellas.
200 quid labour charge for taking out some chewits out of the door. Sorry about that, mate. You've never told me that. Why didn't you tell me that?
Do you know, I thought I had done.
Should have sent me the cleaning bill.
What, I've just made...
Just you going, put them in the bin.
just send you a picture like them. Do you know in a local newspaper where I'm just pointing
angrily at the
fruitellas or whatever?
Fruitellas. I can't even remember when they were from. They must have been there a long time.
Well, it's me being lazy and just not cleaning my car because I probably left that easy. I don't think up until then, during the pandemic, I don't think I cleaned my car. Certainly not on the outside.
I'll be honest, I don't know when you cleaned your car because I can't tell that you've cleaned it recently.
Well, I took it, right, jet washed and everything, and there's still the dick on the car that my sister drew in the mud. And it's with the hot water with the scrubby brush. Like, I spent a full £3 on that. So you get a long time to give your car a good clean.
Have I ever told you what I did to my mate's cars?
No.
Years ago. Like years, and I'm talking when we were like 18, 19 and that. We used to always terrorise each other's cars and stuff. And me and my mate, one of my mates was a delivery driver for a pizza place. He had, I can't remember what car he had. I think it was a Fiesta, if I remember correctly. And he had this Fiesta, and the pizza place was near the pub that we all went to, near the boathouse in Connors Quay, back in the glory days. But there's also a chippy there, and I saw his car outside the pizza place, and I was walking past eating chips, so I wrote Alex in chips on his car bonnet for him to find, and then 20 minutes later he texts me when he goes out on a delivery job like, oh yeah, cheers mate, cheers for the chips, blah, blah. But the grease from the chips had been on it that long, it had like set into the paint, and it wouldn't come out. Like he tried polishing it and everything.
No way.
He had to. When he sold it, he sold the car with Alex in the fucking bonnet in chips, and and used to like empty like beans from KFC on our mate's car windows, and like it's such a shitty thing to do. And I'd be fuming if someone did it to me now. But I didn't have a car at the time, so I wasn't asked. Well,
something else you did. I'm not gonna quite say exactly some of the stuff you've done in my or written in my car, but one of them, I'd gone to visit my sister, and I had family staying at my sister's, so I drove through to see them and went for something to eat. And my mum was like, "Oh, just give your auntie a lift in the car."
Oh.
And it had been chucking it down. So when I got in the car...
I know which one this is.
Yeah, the sunroof one.
Yeah.
So we got in the car and... because it had been raining, it was quite humid. So the window started to steam up. And I'm just driving along and I look at the sunroof and I just see written in massive letters, dong. That you'd written. And you're just trying to be like discreetly like...
I used to do it all the time. I did it in the same guy where I wrote Al on his bonnet. I remember his window steamed up and I drew a cock on the inside of the passenger seat window or whatever. And then he was like, "Oh, cheers for doing that, mate. My mum got in the car." I was like... So then I did it again and I just wrote, "Hi, Sheila," above the knob. He's the one who I did. I think
I'm surprised you didn't do that in my car because that's my mum's name.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought you were about to say, "Oh no, it was your car that I'd done that in." No. I'm like, where?
I'm going to do it now. Now that we've said it, I'll do it on the way home. It's the same, mate. You remember when we were talking about pranks and I said about recording Babe Station on his Sky Plus when his mum and dad were on holiday for like 48 hours worth of boobs. Yeah, same guy. Shout out Andy J. He's also the guy who drove me to Blackpool for the Tom incident. The Tom incident.
Yeah.
The Paul incident. We should have called it that.
Paddy McGuinness.
Poddy McGuinness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy. Good guy. Good guy with a bad car for pranks. When he was a delivery guy as well, I was about to drink my water then, hang on. Have I told you about when he delivered to the pub? I don't think I've mentioned this on a podcast.
No.
So, being a pizza delivery guy, people ordered to the pub all the time. It's the pub I used to work in. Which went a bit weird after have I told you about the pub that turned into a Western?
Yes.
So people in D-side will know about it. It went from the Wepper Inn. It got bought out by a couple of cowboys. And basically, it was just a normal pub. Do you know what I mean? It had a fruity, it had a pool table, it served food and stuff. It had a bit of a park thing outside.
Did it have like a wooden, like a fence thing that you could tie your horse to? And
eventually, yes. So it became, that's what it was like, a normal pub. And then the next time I went in, because I didn't go in it for quite a while after I stopped working there, just because I just didn't. And it changed to being called the Pomona.
Right, yeah.
Which, there's a horse in it.
But it was a pub right next to where we work.
Maybe Palomino, not the Pomona. The Pomona is where we work, innit? The Palomino,
right?
Called, which is a horse.
Yeah.
Right, and had a massive horse, you know, like on its back legs, on
like
the front,
a statue.
And it's massive, right? And that was outside, but inside, and I think it's gone now by all accounts. You walk through what was just a normal front door to be greeted by
the swinging
saloon doors. It had them, and it had like a squaw, you know, like a little Indian girl thing was there. And then that was on the pub, like the bar side. And the bar side, it didn't have a great deal of like cowboy things going on, but it did have like...
The staff had to just constantly look like they were cleaning a glass.
Cleaning a glass and that, and just bar fights and poker games. Actually,
piano playing.
Fairly accurate, to be fair. But on the wall, they had some bits of like pictures of like John Wayne and stuff like that, right?
Real cowboys.
Yeah. It gets better. But that was in the bar side, which was quite small, about as big as this, maybe a bit bigger. But then the bar side, which the restaurant side, sorry, which you went through the swing door to get into from the bar side, was a lot bigger. Big enough to fit a life-size John Wayne on a horse in the middle of it.
Imagine if they'd have gone with a John Wayne, but from a different film, like the war films he did.
Just there with like
in
a tin helmet on.
You know, you filthy animal.
But yeah, there's like a John Wayne on a horse. But when you go into the restaurant, like,
you know, the thing to keep his belly in as well.
Didn't check. Should have done. But like, it's not that big a pub. So like, when he's on this horse, his hat is like inches off the roof. Like it fills the thing. And they had like normally when you go into a restaurant and they have like it's like a plinth in it, like a little table thing saying, please wait here to be served and whatever. They had it was an Indian with a fucking axe in his hand like that, like a tomahawk, like mid-attack. That's what you got greeted by. And the staff wore like check shirts with a bandana around the neck. And they had tellies all around the place. And they had another cowboy thing in there, like a model, life-size model. But they had like westerns playing on the telly like all the time. And it served like barbecue.
Yeah.
To be honest, the food was really nice. It was just like...
Reminds me of my friend that I had. He's half Irish, half Native American. His name's Tomahawk.
Oh. For fuck's sake. I thought... Never told me about half Irish. And then when you said Native American, I thought, this isn't...
Remember that woman from work that got fired on reception?
Yes.
And the time I think it was the time when I had some sort of like chest pain and they called the bloody ambulance out. And I'm there with wires on me like, please, really, you don't need to do this. I'm fine.
That was quite funny.
And she's there, comes over to talk to me and she's like, I mean, a very typical South Yorkshire woman of Caucasian ethnicity. And she's like, part Native American, me. Right.
Oh, yeah? Which part?
Yeah, which part?
Is it the dream catcher earrings that you're wearing? Because I don't think that counts.
You stuck a feather in your hair or something.
Yeah.
You've watched Pocahontas once. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, I'm part Native American. I can tell when it's going to rain. I can go outside and I can just smell the rain. I'm looking outside. It's like, well, I can see the rain. I can see it. I can see the black clouds and and the water falling from the skies. Or I can check the weather. There's, I
saw the weather on the way out the house. I can tell when it's going to rain.
Yeah.
So can I. I've got AccuWeather on my phone. Cheers, love. But Yeah, that pub went out of business.
Did they at least have like Western battles like in Phoenix Nights?
No. They had, I think they had like a quiz night. I don't know if that was cowboy themed because there's only a certain amount of questions you can ask about Rio Bravo and Butch Cassidy and whatever. But I think they did like music and open night, so they had like
square dancing
and like I think they did line dancing. I think they might have done line dancing.
So just achy breaky heart on repeat.
Steps 5, 6, 7, 8.
My Cotton Eye Joe.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Just
that'll be a good clip for the Instagram. Yeah, and that went out a bit. Why were we even talking about this? I can't even remember.
Western. Oh, how did we get onto
the
Western?
We get onto the Western pub?
You're on about pizza delivery.
That was it, pizza delivery. So someone ordered pizza to the pub. There we go. Someone ordered pizza to that pub before it was the Palomino Horse Cowboy pub, and it was just the Wepper Inn. And I knew it was him, obviously, because I know it's got my name on his bonnet, so I knew it was his car. And he went in, a couple of pizzas. It's probably, I can't remember who it was. Someone probably playing poker or something, just ordered a couple or whatever. But I noticed, because I was outside and he hadn't seen me, because there was like 2 entrances to the pub, because it was on like it's like a square, but he's gone in that one as I've come out of the one on the side. And I was like, there's Andy's car there. Not seen him lock it. So I climbed in the back of his car, and a bit like you, he had stuff in the back seat. He had like a coat or whatever in there. And I hid behind the passenger seat under a coat for about 10 minutes, 5 of which he was driving. So I heard him come back, get in his car, start the engine up, driving, singing along to the radio and whatever, blah, 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 going back to pick up
Britney Spears on.
And I just popped my head up, like, out the coat, put my head between the 2 seats, and I kind of went, all right, mate. And he's like, "Whoa," slammed on, the car skidding everywhere. I was like, can you give us a lift back to the Wepper, please, mate? And he was like, oh my God, fucking hell, you fucking prick, fuck's sake. How the fuck have you got in here? I'm like, you didn't lock it. I could have nicked it. But, yeah.
From then on, he just started using a moped instead.
He did have a moped.
Does he by any chance...
Before then, no.
Does he by any chance wear a full Spider-Man suit?
I completely forgot we were going to start with that, weren't we?
Yeah.
So, I'll let you explain, because you noticed it before I did.
So we're driving here to the studio, and as we're driving along, as you check the back mirror...
Well, I saw the motorbike, because he was on the left, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then, as he got closer, I'm like, he's wearing a full Spider-Man, like, lycra suit, and his helmet is a Spider-Man helmet,
Spider-Man
like his head.
Like his head, yeah.
So we're driving along this road till we go to the supermarket with this bike behind us, dressed fully as Spider-Man. Fully.
Not just like he had a Spider-Man t-shirt on.
He was dressed head to toe as Spider-Man.
But with a Lonsdale hoodie on.
Yeah.
Over the... like a Lonsdale hoodie, like half unzipped, so you can see his spider...
The big spider logo.
Chest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a learner plate motorbike.
That was...
The Saltney Spider-Man.
Yeah. That was...
If anyone knows him... or knows why or what he does, let us know. Because I think he's a kid's entertainer sort of thing. And
there's a lot of dedication there to have his helmet.
The helmet won't have been cheap.
He must do that. So, like, when he turns up, he's still a Spider-Man.
He'd have to stop.
He'd look like one of them figures. He'd look like...
Yeah, because he's got a massive head, yeah. Like, you'd have to leave it on, because as soon as you take it off, it's like... putting the mask on quickly. But I reckon, like, that's my theory is he's a kid's entertainer that's going, because it's Sunday morning, isn't it?
So do you think when he takes his, like, Spider-Man head off, there's just another Spider-Man head? But his actual suit one?
Yeah, like a morph suit.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a mask, like a morph suit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he'd ride a motorbike with a morph suit head on. Might do.
No one can see.
No one's going to know.
Because I think it was like a...
It had like a visor, didn't it? Like a blackout visor. Could have done.
I'd have put like googly eyes on it.
It might actually have been the real Spider-Man. Might actually be Peter Parker.
He's just a fraud. He could never swing from building to building.
No. He went round on a...
On a Yamaha.
1998 Yamaha 50cc engine thing. It was an old bike, wasn't it? Yeah, so if anyone knows who that is, let us know what his thing is. Because my money is on Kids Entertainer going to a birthday party.
Shout out to the Saltney Spider-Man.
Shout out Saltney Spider-Man, yeah. And if he's not going to a kids' party, the fuck's he doing?
Just turn up.
What? Just where? What else?
Off to the pub to watch Super Sunday.
What other situation, or what meeting are you going to? What arrangement are you turning up to?
What shop are you robbing?
Yeah, in a full. Yeah, he could have been going to rob a bank.
But the thing is, it's like he goes to rob a bank and he's on, telly, and it's like the guy dressed fully as Spider-Man. It's like, I mean, at least just wear clothes that are like black.
Less easy to trace by going, well, it's a full Spider-Man outfit
with a Spider-Man bike helmet.
Yeah, and then go into, I don't know the name of a shop that does customised bike helmets, but I'm sure that they'd go there and go, this full Spider-Man one. Oh, that's Dave from Saltney. Yeah. Here's his details, Mr. Policeman.
Yeah.
Not quite sure that's how it works, but...
Probably is.
Probably, yeah. But I've seen some weird shit this week, so it's been quite nice, hasn't it, the weather?
Yeah.
Unlike it has been all summer, so we're going to like the park with the dog and stuff like that, and me and Kirsty were walking Daphne the dog in Millhouses Park in Sheffield, which you've been to, I'm assuming.
I've driven past it. Yeah,
so it's like a big, long park. It's quite narrow, but it's about, I don't know, I think a full trip around it is 2.5, 3K. And it's got a stream that runs all the way along it. Like, that's the side, and then the other side of the stream's like the train, where the train track goes. And it's a great park. It's got loads of, like, it's got loads of stuff for kids. It's got like basketball court, football goals, tennis courts that aren't just covered in broken glass and actually have nets.
Dog poo.
It's dog poo. It's got a little like a boating thing, like you go on a pedalo and like pedal round.
Right,
and
yeah.
That. It's got skate park. It's got like a one of those kids things, where there's the fountains and all that, like a park that's got all the water thing. It's got loads and loads of stuff. Got cricket pitch and everything. It's dead good park. Really, really sort of family orientated. Loads of kids there. Saying that for a reason. So we were walking, and it was near the water thing with the pedalos, because that's where they've got like a cafe and toilets and whatever. So we saw a woman and what I assumed to have been her daughter walking a bit further ahead of us, looking around. Didn't really think anything of it. And as we got closer, there's like a bit that goes down to the stream. So there's bits all the way along you can go and get in the stream. You see dogs running in and kids playing in it and that. But there was a bit, there's quite a steep drop, and it was like a U-shaped sort of steep gully bit down. And there was the girl that I assumed was the daughter was just stood in it and was looking at us like, staring at us like really, really awkwardly. And I was like, oh, a bit weird. Where's Mum gone? Because couldn't see anyone else. And as we got a bit closer, this woman popped her head up from down by the stream and pulled her shorts up, and we seen the whole of the moon, right? And she just goes, all right. Right? So she was having a piss, and she's just gone, oh, yeah, well, I went to the toilets, but they were locked, and but the way she said it was like proper rum Sheffield accent. She goes, oh, I went to the toilet, but they were closed. I'm not pissing, me said. Nature's nature. Just like...
So there's going to be kids like further down the street just playing in it, and then there's just like piss. I just get this warm feeling, and then it passes.
Waft of piss going past, yeah. Pissed in the stream. Laughed about it. We laughed because I'll be honest, it's funny.
Yeah.
Because it is. And Kirsty was like, oh, don't blame you. And then looked at me and kind of went, what the fuck? So we've seen this woman's big ass just after she'd had a piss in the stream, which was unexpected. But it's not the first time I've caught a woman having a piss in somewhere unexpected. So we used to go to gigs in Manchester a lot. I mean, still do, but they obviously haven't had them for the last 2 years. And we'd park at, where Piccadilly train station is?
Yeah.
kind of behind that, where the Star and Garter pub venue thing is. It's like a car park next to it. And we'd parked there, gone somewhere else, come back. And as we came back, we were going to the car. There's like a few of us. And as I turned to get into the passenger side of the thing, between the car I was getting into and the one next to it was a prostitute squatting, having a wee-wee.
I mean, it could be worse.
It could have been worse, but she was like looking at me, and I was like, "Oh, you're weeing." And then she was like, "All right, love." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're getting in there." She goes, "Oh, I won't be a sec." And like, did a little shake.
Oh.
Yeah. And then just pulled herself up, saw everything, pulled herself up, pulled her little leather skirt thing down, and just...
She didn't offer any business.
Well, people pay for that. I was like, do I owe you money now?
Yeah.
Is it like you break, you buy? Like, well, you've seen me pissing, you have to pay me pissing prices. Like 20 quid extra. What? I don't know. Like, that was weird.
I mean, you think like there's people on OnlyFans now that do that.
Yeah.
And get paid good
Lots of money for doing a little Jimmy Riddle on webcam. Yeah. But that place it's like, well, it used to be, I don't know if it still is, it was like well known for like brasses and that, because where the Star and Garter is, I think it went viral years ago, like the Google Earth van, caught a woman wanking a guy off down the side street. And he's like that, like against the wall, and she's like Tommy tanking. And but that's there. We used to see them all the time. You'd come out of gigs like sweating your head off, like, you know, like your t-shirt's all stuck to you and you're minging and horrible. You're like, I can't wait to get home.
And you see her and a client and they look exact same.
But we did see them with the clients, because like they just be like, one time we come out and there was a guy getting a nosh in his car, but just on the main bit, because it's like the busy road that goes next to Piccadilly, and that is a busy road. But then there's like the road that comes round off it, and the car park's in like the triangle bit in between. And then there's roads going off down the side. But he's on the road, just outside, like where loads of people are walking past, just leaning back in his car, getting a blowjob. And like we kind of went, hey, and he just looked and goes, all right, lads, and just carried on. And it was like, what? But you used to sit, and they'd come up to you and be like, oh, do you want any business? It's like, well, not really. Look at me. I mean, look at you for a start.
Yeah.
But like, look at me. Do I look like I'm out punting, like in a group of 6 sweaty moshers? Like, do you know what I mean? And then my mate one time was a bit further ahead of us, and he's like, oh, because it was like this brass was on the corner and whatever. And shout out sex workers, by the way. Do what you got to do. This isn't, I'm not slagging them off at all. But he was like, Alex. I was like, what? He goes, do you want to go off on a blowjob? And then like laughed. And this prostitute was like, and I was like, yeah, I'll have the second half. I'll have the good bit, please. I don't want to set you up. But yeah, I'll have the good bit, the second half, please.
Imagine if they kind of go to you, it's like, oh, you want any business? Like, I don't suppose you do any like t-shirt printing at competitive prices at all, do you?
How is your Google search engine optimization? Are you can you get us on page 1 of Google, please, if you type in the word turnstile?
I'm actually I'm looking for an accountant. So yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I offer that as well.
Yeah. I you know, like when you see these when they're not prostitutes, they're escorts.
Like the high end.
And they offer girlfriend experience.
Yeah.
Is that a proper girlfriend experience?
Like nagging.
Is she going to come round and kick off because I'm playing on my Xbox again when I said that I'd watch a film with her? Because that would be an accurate thing.
Imagine if that is like when they really,
oh, my deepest fantasy is for you to come round and fucking peck me head about work.
It's like, I've asked you to do the dishes and you haven't done the dishes.
What's the bin still doing there? You'd be like, hang on a minute, I'm paying you for this girlfriend experience.
Yeah.
High end.
Damn right you are.
It's the only thing you pay for. Fucking pig.
leave your undies hanging, everywhere.
Skiddies in your undies again.
I'm here scrubbing away at them.
All day I go to work and I come home to this pigsty. You haven't emptied the dishwasher. Thank you, Mrs. Prostitute. I feel much better now.
Here's £5,000.
Here's a lot of money.
I wonder how you get into that. Like at
what,
that
prostitution?
Level.
Well, high level escorting, you mean?
Yeah, because it's not like one of those where you start from the bottom. It's like, if you get my drift, like.
I mean, they might do.
But if you're like the people you see just down an alley,
yeah,
to making your way up to like the top.
Yeah, because there's different levels of it, isn't there? So like the ones that are doing.
I started off from nothing. I was sucking blokes off down an alleyway, and now I'm going to Dubai with rich businessmen.
I was wanking men off on Google Earth before you were even born.
I've wanked my way to the top.
That's sleeping your way to the top, innit? Like you start off, sucking men off in car parks and like industrial estates.
To Formula One tracks.
Yeah. I wonder if like, you know what I mean? Like what's the
Formula One car just turns up.
What's the progression plan of a prostitute?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know how you would get into that at a high level. I mean, to get into it at the high level, you would have to have very high opinion of yourself.
I mean, let's be honest.
Men will pay £1,000 for me to spend the night with them.
You're probably coming from, I'd say, more than likely, a very good background.
Do you reckon?
The top ones, you might get them where an opportunity's just come along. I don't know how, or it's not something I've personally worked in myself yet.
That's not quite on your CV.
But I don't know. There's got to be a certain like entry level criteria. It's like, well, you've got to be at least middle class.
You've got to be at least an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. So there's, I mean,
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know any. I've not had any experience.
But do you think now in the Instagram social media kind of era, have you seen these lasses that will go to Dubai or place? It's always Dubai. But
it doesn't appeal to me, Dubai.
No, same.
It's like a shit Vegas.
Yes.
Just a man-built area that's only been there 20, 30 years in the middle of a desert. There's no
history to it.
No, we're far more cultured. As you can tell by the conversation of what is the entry level for a prostitute conversation after talking about watching one piss on the car.
Yeah. But, you get these kind of influencers and that. And they're...
I'm so intrigued by where this is going now.
But you think...
Are we calling influencers, do you think that they're actually brassing themselves out in Dubai? Is that what you...
Some
will.
Some will.
Yeah, some will be.
Because there's got to be, well, we're putting you up. We're paying for your flights, your hotels. You're staying in the 5, 6, 7-star hotels. You'll get the seedy guys that are like, and we expect something back from that. And it's not pictures.
It's not likes.
No.
It's not a share on your Instagram.
No. Come visit this hotel. I mean, one of those words in that sentence is something that they would expect.
Yeah, hotel for the night.
Exactly.
All right, it's us, the Turnstile 2. Just wanted to let you know about the podcast sponsor, which is Circa 88. Check out circa88football.com for your football shirt needs.
They've got loads in stock, shirts from all around the world, ones that are really hard to get hold of, like this Mexico 1999 shirt that was used only in the Confederations Cup.
It's lovely that, isn't it? And you can get 20% off. If you use the code Turnstile88 at the checkout, you'll get 20% off your order, and that's for everything on the site.
And also, if you give them a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Circa88Football, and again, don't forget to use that code Turnstile88 for your 20% off.
Thank you. Enjoy the show. Moving on from water sports and prostitution and treading a very thin line of insinuating that Instagram influencers are all prostitutes. Have you ever hurt yourself playing football?
Funny you should say that. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got more experience in football injuries than I have in prostitutes.
Yeah.
So
I have
had a football injury.
Yeah. What a turn of events.
See that link there? That was so smooth.
Smooth.
Experienced.
So, I am currently nursing an injury from football.
Is it your left knee?
No, it's my right knee.
Because you were rubbing. How long did it take you to work? It must be a really bad injury if you can't remember which leg it's on.
I had to feel the scab under my jeans. Oh,
nice.
And could be worse.
Yeah.
And
you've had a few scabs under your jeans in your time. Not from those entry grade prostitutes. Was it?
Well, it's funny enough. I've got scrapes on my knees.
Yeah.
I've got friction burns on my knees.
Friction burns on your knees, working your way up.
And
don't hate the player.
I started on the football pitch and made my way up.
And look at me now. I'm off to Qatar next year for the World Cup. About to say, sucking off men at the World Cup. And five-a-side.
I want to be like her that sucked off the Phoenix Suns who got them all the way to the NBA championships. I want to be that woman.
What an inspiration.
Yeah. But yeah, injuries. So yeah, I actually was playing six-a-side. I was actually playing against a popular cycling YouTuber, actually. Former pro as well, Chris Pritchard.
Ben Foster.
Yeah.
Ben Foster plays it.
Yeah, these GoPro.
Sheffield Sevens, GoPro behind the goal.
And running down the wing, and you know when you kind of shoulder to shoulder, I was playing as the attacking player for once, and I'm running down the wing and just kind of like fell to the floor, knees scrape and just cut open. I turned to the ref. He looks at me like, "Come on." And I was like, fair enough.
Did you do that thing where you're running too fast for your legs?
Yeah.
And
I just kind of lost
like
balance.
When you're running downhill.
Yeah, pretty much. And then just fell to the floor. And I thought, I'll give it a shot. I'll see if I can get the free kick. And he knew. And I was like, fair enough. I thought I'd give it a try. But my knees were like, they were cut like you do if you play on AstroTurf 3G. And then as a couple of days went by, and I was like, oh man, like my knee is throbbing. And it's kind of getting a bit... And then I got a knee infection. A knee infection from playing football. So I'm currently nursing a knee infection, which it's a bit sore.
You got like... What? I don't know what.
Leprosy.
Or leprosy or something.
Yeah. Nothing, a bit of Germaline will sort. Yeah.
Brillo pad and a bit of...
Yeah.
Dettol.
But honestly...
It's sting in the shower and that.
Yeah. It feels
like... Are you a brave soldier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a plaster on it and then have a lollipop. Just pretty much like when I had my COVID jab. Got a sticker as well.
I'm a big brave boy. Pretty much like what happened when that Native American woman came to your aid when you were being electrocuted by the ambulance man.
So embarrassing. And then, just going back to that story, I was in the... They brought the ambulance along, and I'm like, honestly, I'm fine. I am completely fine.
What happened with that one? Did you have a...
I just had a bit of a chest
pain.
Funny
turn, bit of a chest pain, and they decided to ring an ambulance.
It's that job, innit?
Yeah, I suppose.
And, so anyway, and it was like a Friday evening as well.
It was, I remember. It was a Friday.
And I thought, I'm not going to A&E and spending Friday in A&E.
With nothing wrong with you.
With nothing wrong with me. Because it started to pass. It was just, I don't know, just one of those things. And so I'm sat in the back of the ambulance, and they're doing the tests and checks or whatever. And I'm like, honestly, I'm fine. Because we're going to take you to A&E. And I'm like, trust me, I'm okay. I'm not having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Because he asked the questions of like, is there any history of having a heart attack? It's like, well, yeah, my dad's had a heart attack. And they're like, well, it's like, yeah, but he eats kebabs about 3 times a week. And if he's not eating kebabs, he's eating a chippy.
He has 24 cans of full-fat Coke a day.
Exactly. That's why. And he was smoking at the time. And since he's had his heart attack, the only thing he's stopped is smoking. He still has the kebabs, chippies, and cans of Coke. Maybe occasionally Coke Zero, but that's pretty much salad to him. And
having a lemon in his drink is his salad.
And honestly, the only salad I think he has is when you get it in the kebab.
Oh.
And so obviously they look at that and thinking, oh, well, there's a history there. It's like, no, that was brought on himself. Anyway, so I'm like, I'm fine. Eventually they let me go, but they had to ring my GP, and my GP had to basically say, as long as he comes in like the Monday for a doctor's appointment.
As long as he's still alive on Monday, don't worry about it.
But then when I went to the doctors on the Monday, the way they worded it is like, oh, he resisted going to A&E. As if I was like, do you know, like our copper?
Resisting arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would put,
like fighting with the paramedic.
Yeah, like they'd try and put me in a straitjacket. It's like, I'm not going to hospital. and I was like, honestly, like, just let me go. But then work said, do you know, they put it down as like an absence, like a sick day. I was like, it happened with an hour and a half left of the week, and I was still in the ambulance outside the front door at 5:30. I was here after everyone had gone, before they let me out. But I was like, it classes you still technically on site.
Well, you're not working, are you?
No, but I'm on site technically still because I'm right outside the building, and I've been sat in reception.
You were trying to skive and it didn't pay off.
No, it didn't. Well,
it's the wrong time to pull a sickie at 3:30 on a Friday.
Yeah, with wires attached.
Attached to you.
Oh yeah. God, taking my blood pressure. It's your blood pressure's a bit high. It's like, yeah, because I'm sat in the entrance with wires stuck to my chest. What, do you think I'm going to be calm about
all my mates are filming me on the phone.
Yeah, like the time my back went.
That was so funny though, because where you sat at the time and where I sat, you were kind of like, it's a big open plan office in it, and you were kind of across the way from me a bit, and I wasn't there. I think I was coming back from a meeting or something, and as I was walking through the thing, and I could see like a big circle around where your desk was, and I look at Jake, our mate Jake, and he like goes, "Look at Tony," like laughing, and you were just lying on the floor sideways and looked
with my hoodie like as my pillow, just laid completely flat.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
The thing is, I'd literally got into the office.
We've got a photo of that somewhere.
Yeah, been used many a time. And I had literally got in, sat at my desk, and someone had asked me a question, and I'd only been there about 5 minutes, and I turned round and my back just went.
It does. When anybody who's ever at the back, because I had back issues when I was younger. It's something to do like the discs at the lower are slightly rotated. So like every now and then it'd go, but it'd only ever go like reaching for the TV remote or going to the toilet. It would never be like when I was playing football or fighting or rugby or wrestling, messing about. It was never doing any stupid stuff.
Yeah.
It was literally doing the most minute sort of thing. And it'd be like a light switch. It'd be like,
it feels
bang,
like a hot knife.
It's horrible.
Just gone, ding.
It is horrible, but it did look dead funny when you were lying on the floor.
And the thing is, like, try and get on the floor. It's like, my back's gone. I can't just get up and lay on the floor. So I was there, and I just kind of was like, I need to get on the floor. And I just kind of slid. I had to slide off and then just kind of get onto the floor. I've got to try and get back up. I had to slide off and slide onto the floor seamlessly. And then I was there for an hour. And they got a first aider along. So he comes over. And he's just asking me questions, and then he goes, hold on a second. He goes off and he brings an ice pack. It's like my back's gone, and you've just put an ice pack on it. So I've tensed up, and I'm just like, ugh. So then they have to ring. Is it 111?
Yeah.
So he's trying to explain, probably quite terribly, what's wrong with me, and they're like, can you put him on the phone? And then they were like, basically. Like, the questions they ask is like, have you pissed yourself? Nope.
Yep.
Have you shit yourself?
Yep.
And they're asking these questions, like, but obviously...
That's how they worded it.
Yeah. Have you pissed and shit yourself?
Have you pooed your bum?
I've not done that for weeks. And it's stuff like this, and I'm like, it's my back's gone. There's no like.
Don't need to dress it up. I've my back's gone. I can't move.
Imagine if you did that to really kind of make sure I'm going home today. I'm not working for the rest of the day. It's like, right, I'm on. Okay, all right. Laid on the back. Back's gone. What's going to make this really convincing? Yeah. Oh, no. I've pooed my pants.
Can you get a first aider? I pooed myself.
Can you go to the lost property? Get me some 8 to 9 year old shorts. White ones.
Some little white sausages out of lost property box for PE kit. Yeah, I've got to go home. I've pooed myself. Imagine
and you got like hoodie on and you cut and these little hot pants for kids.
Like little tiny partridge pants.
At work, just reminded me of the disgruntled employee that pooed in the vending machine and in a plant pot.
Yeah.
Imagine going for your chocolate bar, pressing the button, and it's like, right, just put your hand in the bottom.
Put your hand in. It's like, oh, there's no wrapper on this.
Bloody hell, I thought these were refrigerated. It's melted.
Oh. Tastes funny.
Well,
sophisticated conversation that we've had. Pissing prostitutes, eating poo. What next?
I was going to start with the...
the football injuries thing.
Yeah. But I also have a gift for the pod, don't I?
Do you want to save that for the end?
Yeah. The grand finale.
Because I've got an injury that beats an infected knee.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told you about this one before. It's not something I talk about often. But when I was about, 11 or 12 or something like that, I woke up and went for a wee and had one massive bollock, right? And I'm talking like a grapefruit size, and it was proper painful, and I was like, shit, right? So obviously I went and told my mum and dad, and they were like worried because it could be mumps. I think mumps you can get mumps in your bollocks. It goes in your neck and that, doesn't it? But I think it can go in your twonky. And so I went to the...
It's so shame it's the testes and you just got a big dong. And you're like, oh no.
Oh no.
Drat.
Yeah. I've woken up with a massive...
2 foot long.
Like a massive tin of links. Like, oh, he's right. Instead of the little tester.
Your Pringles can.
So I woke up and I had a massive bollock, right? And it hurt a lot. And I didn't want to tell my mum and dad because, you don't want to talk about your gonads when you're a kid. So I went to the doctors, like the emergency doctor. It was like, yep, you need to go to hospital and quick.
You think?
It's like, well, yeah, okay. So,
as you walk,
as I bounced out like on a space,
John Wayne.
I was like, I bounced out on like I was on a space hopper with my massive gonad. So I went to hospital and they had to operate on it, unsurprisingly. So basically what had happened was it twisted within my ball bag. Scrotum, there's the scientific word I was looking for. So it twisted and it had cut off all the circulation and blah, 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 which is why it's swollen up. And it was literally moments away from popping and bursting. Don't know how, bad that would be, but I would imagine it's worse than just being massive. So basically I had an operation and they untwisted it all and whatever. So I went back into the ward, right? So when you're a kid and you're in hospital with a gonad-related injury, what is the last 2 things that you want on your ward?
I won't want any girls.
Yep.
How
about a mate on the bed next to you? So there was a ward of maybe 10 people. There's only 2 guys. Me and my mate Mark. In the bed next to me. He was in with his broken leg or whatever. 8 girls.
Oh, no.
What are you in for? Oh, I've hurt my leg. Like, I've got a bad... And I just had to lie. And obviously I was lying saying I'd hurt my leg, which is why I was walking like John Wayne when I had to go to the toilet. Because I couldn't walk properly. But then obviously the doctor comes round and they're like, oh, we'll close this curtain and nobody will know what's going on behind here. And they're like, yeah, so you just drop your trousers and show us your testicle. And I'm like...
What we're going to do, cut it open, spin it around so it'll release everything. It'll go back to normal size, but your head might grow instead. Or you'll be like Popeye and you've just got big forearms.
It's like like a football when the patches come off and the ball's popping out, like push it in and it pops out the other side. It's like one of them. But anyway, the cause of that said injury was playing football in loose boxes. Apparently, right. That's what they said it was. I'd gone in for a slidey and it.
See, I've always played in tighties.
Well, I do now. I have since then, and always will. Don't want to go back in with that.
I had, well, it's a funny kind of injury, because I'm assuming you can bruise them.
But your
nads.
Well, yeah, I would have thought so.
So I was playing in goal and probably one of my better saves. Someone shot, kind of dived, saved it, but like a player fell on top of me, and the ball is, so you had an open goal, and the ball is just sat pretty much right in front of the goal, and I'm scrambling to try and get from underneath this player. Another player's running in, he's got an open goal, and he just wallops the ball to the back of the net, but I've just managed to escape from underneath this guy and just dive. And obviously I made the save. Brilliant save, but bloody hell it hurt.
With your bollocks?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But for the next few days, again, like walking around like John Wayne.
John Wayne.
I mean, this guy put everything into it because he had an open goal. He just wanted to smash it in the back of the net. I've also had, playing five-a-side football, I think it must have been from a free kick or something. And the big giant tennis balls you played with in five-a-side?
Yeah.
Indoor football.
The indoor ones.
Yeah. And someone hit a shot so hard and it just hit me in the face, but it knocked my jaw out of line.
No.
And I couldn't close my mouth again for 3 days or
you
something.
Like Phil Neville, like that.
I was like, and then when I try and push, like, felt like something was going to snap.
What did you do? Did you go to hospital with it?
No. I just had
punch it back.
I just had soup for like a few days, and eventually it just kind of went back to normal. Well, I'd say back to normal. Like if I go, it still goes and it jolts a little bit.
How'd you go?
And in the winter, it can get a bit like stiff.
We
just like that. Right, guys. So we said we would finish this one on the grand reveal.
Oh yeah, you bought
you
bought us a present.
Yeah, I went back home, and as I do with my dad, who loves his car boots.
Yep.
I went along, and it wasn't a bad, what would you call it, haul. I find like some good like footy shirts or scarves, little bits and bobs. He finds some absolute gems like the Freddie Ljungberg doll and
fake Man United
shirts. He did get me a Real Madrid 2001 away shirt and an Argentina 2018 shirt recently, which done well.
Fair dues.
But I haven't told you what the new.
No, you told me that. Oh, I've got something from the car boot,
and it cost me. It was meant to be £5, but my dad haggled it down to £2.
That's good going. 40% of the price.
My dad goes, that smelly bastard tried to. That's what he refers to him as. That smelly bastard.
Hang on.
The guy that he bought off. It's not referring to me or.
I was going to ask something then, but I don't think I want to know the answer.
And it, I thought that's perfect
for the set.
Yeah, because I went to 4 car boots in 3 days, and I seen this and I was like, it's got to be done. Yeah, it's nothing like amazing, but I brought it in an Aldi bag just to
bit of class.
It's a receipt.
So intrigued by what receipt? What the car boot give you a receipt?
No, this is just a receipt from my Aldi shop.
Aye. How much did you spend?
£13.58. It's mainly biscuits. Yeah, mainly biscuits.
Biscuits and fake brew dog.
Pizza. Oh, I've got a
toppings?
nutritious shop that. Noodles, Asian. Bread, farmhouse. Cookies, choc chip. Choco, low. Biscuits, digestive. Onions, brown. Pretty sure I bought white onions, but I didn't know they were called brown onions. I thought you had like red onions, which are purple, and white onions.
And fried onions.
You don't like onions, do you?
Hate onions.
Right, so I actually went and bought a frame for this because I thought it needed a frame.
Yeah.
Who's your favourite Premier League player of all time?
Dennis Stracqualesi.
Well, it's not him.
Tony Hibbert.
It's none of them, actually. You'll never get it. Did one of the greatest tricks ever in Premier League history.
Andrzej Kanchelskis, the 360 spin.
No, but he actually pulled that one off. This person didn't pull off his trick.
Don't know.
He played for Birmingham.
Don't know.
Played for Blackburn. Yes.
Oh my God.
It's a signed picture of David Dunn.
Let's have a look.
My dad goes, do you think that's a real autograph? It's like,
I don't think anyone's going to fake it. There we go, front of house.
There we go. Hey, how much do you think that's worth apart from the £2 I've paid? Probably 3.
3 for the frame.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know where to put this now.
Put it pride of place, right at the front. Stand it.
Oh, you can stand up, yeah.
Just stand up.
Quite
Like
a deep.
There we go.
Look at that.
There we go.
If you're watching David Dunn, thanks for sending that out.
We'll tag him in it.
Yeah, if any of the famous footballers.
If any famous footballers want to sign something to feature,
we'll chuck this in the bin and replace it.
It's a bit like prostitution. We'll work our way up. We'll start off with Dunn and see where we end up.
Get to Duff, Damien Duff. He's next.
We'll try.
Damien Duff.
Was that meant to have been
Damien Duff?
Yeah. Okay.
But you said Damien Duff.
Damien Duff.
33.
I don't know what to say about that, mate, other than that is not what I expected.
The stuff you get from car boots, eh?
Oh, we need to do a car boot
And people
special.
say car boots are dead. You can't find football merch there now because you all know the price. Beg to differ. £2.
I think you've been ripped off, to be fair. And
thanks for listening, guys. It's been a pleasure as always. Give us a like, subscribe, share. What other things do YouTubers ask for? Money.
Sponsorship deals. Fights with Jake Paul. I'd fight Jake Paul, to be fair.
As would I.
Yeah, I'd win and all.
Could we have a tag team match, us two versus the Turnstile 2 versus
Turnstile 2 versus the Logan.
Yeah.
The Logan brothers.
Yeah.
Set it up.
Right. It's on. Bye.